Hey guys, so I said in my video yesterday, which I actually uploaded today, but in my video yesterday I said that I was going to roll an experiment with 100 maps rolling white sextants. So I started doing the maps, and before I actually started I ran a little bit of a test. So I did about 10 maps with a Biscos Leech, 10 with no sextants, and then 10 with sextants. And these are numbers that I came up with right here. I did the math already. So it's about 2 chaos for one white sextant. On average, let's just say it's about 25% reroll of the sextant. So every 4 sextant, basically, you're going to have to put one more to roll one more to actually get the mod you want. So every 4 times you change your sextants, you're going to need a 5th one. So it's going to be about 2.5 chaos investment with the 25% additional to the 2 chaos initial. 2.5 chaos per 3 maps. So that is a 0.83 chaos per map is going to be the price of your sextants. So 83 sextants, you're going to need 83 sextants worth of chaos to roll 100 maps. You're also going to need 53 Valorbs, but that's the numbers from yesterday's video. I just took the numbers from yesterday because I feel it's average, about 50% basically. About 50% of your maps are going to not be good enough in terms of rolls, so you're going to want to val them. So let's just say half of 100, so 50. I put 53 because that's the number I used yesterday. Then 100 alchemies, 35 chaos. So your investment is going to be 171 chaos investment to roll 100 map with sextants. The average monster per map without sextants to me, when I was doing the test, was about 700 in the T3 burial, with like average just 50, 60, 70% quantity and like pack size and whatnot. With sextants, I was about 1,000. Like every time my rampage stacks on my Biscos Leash would get to maximum, which is 1,000, I'd pretty much be done the map. So about 1,000 monsters for me. So that is basically a 30% increase in monsters. While if I take my numbers from yesterday, the chaos invested for 100 maps without running sextants was 85 chaos. My 50 evals and then my 100 alks. So about 85 chaos. So the price increase from running maps with sextants is 201%. So it's basically going to cost you twice as much to run the maps, and your density increase, your actual amount of monsters in the map, is only going to increase by 30%. So it all comes down to how much time you have to invest into it and how much currency you have to invest into it. If you're filthy rich and these 30% increase in monsters for twice the price is worth it to you, then so be it. That's great. If you don't have a lot of time, so maybe you only play like 1 or 2 hours a day, let's say, so you don't have a lot of time, so you want to get as much bang for your buck when it comes to your maps, like in terms of time, but not in terms of actual currency, then sure, go for it. Sextants are where you're going to get the most monsters out of every map. But if you're going for the long run, and actually you can just spam maps, because the thing about T3 white maps is that they're free. If you're doing the Atlas strategy to maintain them infinitely, you basically have an infinite amount. So the map is not the bottleneck here. The maps is never a bottleneck. The alchemies are never a bottleneck, and the vows are never bottlenecks either. The bottleneck when it comes to T3 burials is how much time do you have to run them. So if you only play, like I said, an hour or 2 a day, then yeah, sure, sextants are probably going to be good for you because they're going to give you better drops faster, but at a more expensive price. Versus running no sextants, it's going to be, like I said, half the price when it comes to running them, but you're going to be missing out on 30% monsters. But if you're able to play a little bit more, or perhaps a little bit more efficiently, and whatnot, in the long run, you're actually going to be gaining a lot more currency because those white sextants are 2 chaos each. So when they drop, instead of, well, using them, you're selling them. And instead of buying them, you're selling them. So you're going to be making a good bit, actually, on sextants. I get 1 white sextants, I'd say, every maybe 3 to 4 maps, which is, like I said, on average I run one map for about a minute and a half. So every like six minutes or so, 5 6 minutes, I get a white section drop. So that's 2 chaos. So in an hour of like mapping really hard, 6 times 10 an hour, well, I'm basically getting 10, which is 20 chaos. And that's just from white sextants alone. 20 chaos in 1 hour from white sextants alone. While if you're using these, well, you're basically losing these 20 chaos because you're going to be, well, running them. But not only you're going to be losing these 20 chaos because you're going to be using the sextants, you're actually not going to be able to sustain the amount of sextants you need. Uh, you're actually, like I said, not going to be able to sustain these, so you're going to have to buy some. So in the end, I think it's just a really bad investment. It is totally not worth it. I'm not doing it. I was going to do the tests with 100 maps, and then when I did the math on this, I was like, well, this is stupid. Like 30% monster increase for 200% price. I can totally understand that if you're running some like T15, T14 maps and you want to get as much monsters as you can from your map, because these are basically the equivalent of map returns. And map returns in T15 maps or Guardian maps is a lot. If you're having to pay your map almost like 30, 40 chaos or whatever it is, then a single map return is a big amount. But when it comes to T3 burials, you basically have infinite maps. It doesn't matter. You can throw away like 50 and you're not even gonna notice because you're just getting infinite. You're getting more than you're running, and if you're selling them, even if you're selling a ton, you're still gonna have way extra. So like I sell a bunch and I still have stupid amounts of extra, and that's with all the ones I brick and etc. So yeah, I just don't think it's worth it. I mean, you do you, but I'm definitely not throwing sextants at my T3 burials. I don't think it's worth it. That being said, all my doctor cards have been obtained without running sextants. So I think, sure, I might have been extremely lucky this league, and I will admit so. But I mean, you just don't need them. I don't think sextants. I've tried running them. I've ran them sometimes, especially when I had lower atlas percentage. Whenever I had like 40% atlas completion bonus, then I'd throw a sextant on there every so often just to try and help with sustaining the maps. But with 100%, you're basically getting so many burial chambers, it doesn't even matter. So that's my 2 cents on it. You do you. Thanks for watching.